Hello, this is the Nightline Podcast. My name's James Pikeway, and if you want to learn more about the program, please go to www.dubai1038.com or email us, nightline@dubai1038.ae. Enjoy the show.
Boom, boom, boom.
Motoring Middle East is in the house. Great to have you guys back.
Great to be back.
This one, yeah.
Hey, we're talking cars. Is there anything better you can be doing? Hold on. There is one thing that might possibly be better than talking about cars, and that is heading down to the Brasty so that if you're a tennis fan, you can stand by for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Are you ready for this? Stay tuned to this very station, Dubai Eye, all next week, or head down to Brasty for a chance to win the ultimate prize. Buy a selected beverage until the 19th of May, or tune into Sports Tonight. It's Chris and Emma, doesn't get any better than that, from 7, and you could win an all-expenses-paid trip for you and a friend to the Wimbledon men's and women's finals. There we go. What do you think?
To play with bats, is it?
It's tennis.
Right.
I think it would be awesome.
Tennis, is there more than one ball to play? Or?
I mean, come on. You listen to sports show. You know exactly what we're talking about here. This is just
all the time. I do.
I think it's a great opportunity to go learn about this amazing growth. It's picking up. Tennis is picking up. It's going to be popular soon.
Well, you pick up the bat every time you drop it.
I drop it a lot.
Motoring Middle East. These guys know about cars.
We know nothing about tennis.
Hey, speaking about cars, this weekend I was driving around in that Bentley Mulsanne.
I know, you kept messaging me about it.
I noticed that. So where did you nick that from?
The Bentley showroom.
It's amazing.
Did you do that valet parking trick where somebody turned up and you said, "Can I park your car,
Can I take my car?"
And you just went home.
No, you know what? I got to thank the guys over at Bentley right here, and it was phenomenal to ride around in this machine, and I've ridden in it.
So which one was it?
I had the Mulsanne.
The Mulsanne.
And now I drove a Mulsanne a year ago.
Yeah.
It was a different car. I don't understand.
Really?
Like, this was a far superior car.
What was this then?
This was a Mulsanne.
What version of Mulsanne was it?
They must have told you, man.
You see, this is why he's not a motoring
This is why we still have jobs.
Hold on. What, there's different versions? They never mentioned the different... This was the big version.
You just said it was a different version to the one you tested last year.
They didn't say it was a different version, but it clearly was. It had curtains on the passenger's back.
Was it any bigger? Was it longer?
No, same kind of engine, just nicer.
Was it quicker?
Yeah, I don't know. I only
They're
drive
all
them.
quick.
You know, when you've got a twin turbo 6 3/4 liter engine, and you put
6 3/4.
That's
Very
what
important.
it said.
They're
That's
very
what it
important.
said.
Yes, 6.75. Yes.
No, it said 6 3/4 when I put it up.
Because that's the traditional way of doing it.
Yeah.
They're not metric.
And let me tell you, that thing is you want to get a ticket car because you put your foot down and you're already doing 180.
I have a strategy. You'd have a car that drives in front. It can be a Corolla, it can be something, and that drives in front and that collects all the tickets, and you just go behind him.
So you send a man ahead.
You know what this thing was though. This is, when you talk about destination vacations, when you talk about going on a cruise because the cruise itself is the destination. This is a destination car.
Well, you can imagine going anywhere on that thing.
It's the size of a cruise ship anyway.
It is the size of a cruise ship, and it doesn't matter how much traffic there is. In fact, at one point I was going somewhere, and it was just busy, so I had to take the long route via Charger to get to T-Com. That's okay. Absolutely, you don't
mind. You don't mind.
No,
I mean the Mulsanne particularly, because because to differentiate Bentleys, if you can, because they all look the same to most people.
That's somebody who knows what.
Here we go.
I'm rolling up the sleeves now.
Here we go.
Ready,
It's a visual medium.
So you have Silver Spur.
Yeah. Well, you have the Continental.
No, you don't have. That's a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Where you've gone?
Okay.
God,
bring it back.
Thank God we're still on the show.
So you got the Continental.
You got the Continental, which is the coupe version, right? Then you got the 4-door version of that.
Flying Spur.
The Flying Spur.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Not silver.
Not silver.
Flying Spur. Flying Spur.
Same.
So these two are basically your peasants Bentleys.
Okay.
Right? So this is.
I wasn't in the peasant
This
Bentley.
is new money.
This is new money Bentley.
Yeah,
This is
okay. I was not in that machine.
You got a good bonus this year. You go up, you pick up your Conti, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're all money, if you're aristocracy, if you're class, you go for the top dog.
You're pucker.
if you're Packer and you have a lifelong membership at the Gentleman's Club, then you go for the Mulsanne, because the Mulsanne is like the Gentleman's Club on wheels. That's what it is.
You know, that's the way to describe it, because at one point I was sitting in that vehicle. I was waiting to pick up my son at school. I parked it in the parking spot, closed the blinds, put on a movie, had the AC going, and was getting a seat massage.
Exactly.
And I'm going,
and who was driving the car?
No, it was parked at this point.
It was parked.
And you know, and you got your nachos, and you're sitting there, and you go, this is
nachos in a Bentley.
And we also had a poutine, and you know, it's. But you put down the table.
Oh, poutine everywhere is all I'm thinking now.
You put down that table, and it's just, life is good.
It is. You can just let the whole world go past you, can't you? Just like, you're not bothered at all.
It's one of those vehicles that I was actually a little bit disappointed because I had to drive it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be sitting in the back seat getting driven around. And this is a car you want to be driven around in.
But it does drive rather nice as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
Beautifully. Okay, I had one complaint. Mm-hmm. First complaint is the Bluetooth system. It's a little awkward.
It's Bluetooth, man. We don't do Bluetooth. We
order
order copies of the Times.
Chauffeur set it up for you?
We get a copy of the Times and the New York Herald, and we sit back and we read those. We don't converse with people.
It was fiddly, and this was the thing. I'm going, why is it so fiddly?
Every time we get a Bentley, I end up calling Shazad and saying, how do we do this? And he's like, okay, I'll tell you again.
Oh, I should have called you up, because I got so frustrated that I just stopped using that.
I don't know why he'd call me out, because I just make it up anyway. I'm like, press the buttons,
but
press them harder.
What I really loved about this vehicle, and this is you know, you're going to go clearly not an automotive journalist talking about this Bentley Mulsanne, is the old school cruise control lever.
The lever.
Lever. I was absolutely impressed with that. It was the bomb. Loved it.
You could pull it off.
The lever was the bomb.
With it.
It was just so easy to use. It was intuitive. It just worked. I also like the feature in the back seat that
whether you like a Camry, then those also work pretty well.
When you're sitting in the back, if you want to open up the right side windows and you're sitting on the left, you've got the controls as well.
There you go.
These guys were thinking. Yes. This car is real. Now, here's another small thing. And Bentley folks, I hope you're listening, because I think this is a flaw in the Bentley.
A flaw.
Wait for it.
A flaw. Are you ready?
We have found a flaw.
It is this amazing lacquered wood finish inside.
What's the flaw with that?
So if you're driving and the sun is beaming in where the mechanism is to change gears, and the sun is at about 3 o'clock, and you're driving towards Fujairah, and it comes in through the passenger side door.
All very specific and precise, you know.
It blinds you as it ricochets off that lacquered wood into your eyes.
What a disgrace! You mean the manufacturer didn't drive to Fujairah on that particular road at 3 o'clock in the afternoon just to test this fact? How dare they send this Bentley back to the UK? Ask them to redo the wood.
Oh man.
Outrageous.
But you know what? There's not.
Did you notice the paneling though is equal on each side?
I did.
It's mirrored on each side. It's amazing, huh?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars. What do we say? They start at about $1.5 million or so.
Well, with Bentleys, you just don't even talk less than $1 million. You know, I mean, actually, that's $1 million. But the Mulsanne is $1.5 million. Here's a confusing thing for people, right? Yeah. The Continentals and the Flying Spur, they're V12s.
Right.
This
W12.
W12, sorry.
W12.
You know, the whatever.
Same.
See what I did there? Whatever. See? Never mind. So they're W12s, but the Mulsanne is a V8.
Yeah.
There we go. And that's top dog.
It's fast. It's really fast. I've absolutely enjoyed it. Would love to have one of those vehicles. I don't think I could afford the petrol. It really drinks it. But at that point, if you can afford this car and the driver that goes with it.
Exactly.
Are you thinking petrol?
It's a different world, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Just one that you've partaken in and well enjoyed, it sounds like.
It was hard to get back into the Jeep. But I will say also to the guys, they did wash my Jeep.
See, this is
They washed your Jeep?
They did.
You mean they fumigated it?
I couldn't believe I parked it right in front. So anyone driving into the service center had to see James.
That's why they washed it.
And they washed it.
That's why they washed it.
It's clean.
They're like, what is that park there? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So look, this is. You see, if you notice him, Tashan, James, you know, this happy-go-lucky, you know, surfer dude, you know, you give him a Bentley and he turns into a toff.
Yeah. Hold on. I did take the Bentley to the beach.
All right, fair play.
How did you park it at the beach? That's what I want to ask you. Like, where are you going to park them? Because it takes like 2 car spaces.
That was always a problem. And another problem, I took it to the aviation club. That was also a problem. But there was a few Bentleys there, but it doesn't fit into the spots. So it was a small problem.
Meant to be valid.
I know. Everyone's looking at me as I'm driving past valet going, where can I park this thing? And they're going, well, we'll valet. I go, no, I want to park my own car.
I once took a Ferrari F12 into Dubai Mall. and I just drove into the fashion car park like a peasant, and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, and they continued to look at me as crazy, like, why are you parking?
Another thing about the Mulsanne, it can do a good Carrefour run, because I also did a Carrefour run in the Mulsanne.
How did you park it in Carrefour?
I went and parked as far away from everywhere where there were no cars, and I parked on an angle being that person.
This is the trouble with being poor and kind of reviewing these kinds of cars.
That's the thing, yeah. Because as a Bentley owner, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
You don't take the Bentley to Carrefour. You send your man to
Exactly.
Carrefour with a list. You know?
Yeah, I was getting some eyebrows there.
Yes. Well,
but anyway.
There you go. Welcome to our world.
There, welcome to your world, exactly. This is Car Talk. Folks from Motoring Middle East are here. We already got texts coming through. One of them has to do with getting the onion smell out of the boot of your car when you leave the onions in the car.
It's like chicken, isn't it?
This is
One of our editors,
It's like chicken.
Yeah, one of our staff, a magazine previously left a chicken overnight in a Range Rover.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So
nobody wanted to
I bet
take
his
that.
goose was cooked.
So we're going to talk about that.
Very good.
We've also got some questions about Mercedes. So lots to talk about. If you want to get involved in the program, this is how you can do it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Shazad and Imtishan are here from Motoring Middle East. We're talking cars. If you're wondering what's going on here, 4001 is the SMS number, 04-423-1010 is the phone number. Of course, only when it's safe to do so. And if you would like, use the messenger service. It's much faster and simpler. But again, has to be safe to do so. Assam has got the question about leaving the onions in the trunk or the boot of the car.
Yeah, we were talking cars, now we're talking produce.
Day later, his car smells like a bag of onions. What can he do?
Buy another car.
Shazad money. Shazad Richie Rich.
Just basically, well, we're talking Bentleys, right? Just take it to the top of the highest cliff you can find.
Okay.
Push it off.
Just leave it by the side of the road. Your man will take it away.
Okay, so what can he really do? Is this get the thing shampooed out and?
Well, there's a couple of places that will do that for you. Any detailing shop will have like a shampoo. Obviously, clean the living hell out of it, vacuum it. But odors are a tricky one.
Yeah.
There's an old remedy.
What if he pulls the carpet out and puts new carpeting
Still
in?
have to shampoo it. Yeah. Steam cleaning works. There's an old thing where you used to soak towels in vinegar and put them in a bowl, leave them in the car. That's supposed to absorb the smell.
Huh.
So you soak towels, as many towels as you can in vinegar, and leave it overnight, and it just absorbs odors.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing is sprinkling baking soda, that sort of thing. But again,
this is a tough one.
It's a tough one. If that doesn't work, go to a specialist. And there are specialists that clean cars.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, take it to a crusher.
I'm thinking you just tear out the carpeting and put new carpeting in.
No, it won't work. It won't be enough
I'm trying
because
to help him here, and you're just.
No, because the trouble, it gets into the lining. It gets everywhere.
Don't spill the vinegar on the car. That's not.
That will make it worse. That'll make it worse. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear about that, Azam. And if you.
But you do have this. I mean, when you buy used cars, you have the same problem because if people have been smoking. I mean, I once borrowed a car, and the guy that owned the car was a heavy pipe smoker.
Oh no.
The smell of it wasn't just in the car. It was in all of my clothes for like 10 days afterwards. I kept washing my clothes and I could still smell the pipe. It was incredible. But it's really, really hard to get rid of some of these odors.
All right, Gary's got a question, and this is a great question, and this has a lot to do with a vehicle that has been this is an aspirational vehicle for him. He says, "Hi guys." First of all, he says, "I love the show." He says, the question is, I'm debating whether to buy a Mercedes E55 AMG W210 model as a second weekend car, Japanese import, 2002-ish, very good, low kilometers, or maybe I would like to buy a CLK55 or a CL55. I'm kind of fulfilling a childhood ambition, was always in awe of the AMGs, a lot of bang for the buck. Pros and cons, please, gentlemen, if you can help me out, of such an old car and the fact that it's a Japanese import. What do you think?
I can actually help with this one because I actually have bought an old Japanese import BMW, so I know what these things are like. Now, the thing is, any Japanese import you get will be pretty super low mileage because they don't drive a lot in Japan. And these are prestige cars, so people didn't really use them for the commute, which in Japan would be 5 kilometers at 1 miles per hour.
Okay.
But these cars are always extreme. Actually, I would recommend buying the Japanese imports. This is the one case I'd say buy the import car over the GC, because GC cars be higher mileage and they'd all be hacked to pieces, whereas the Japanese cars are super clean. And they're
usually pretty good price too.
They're all like 15,000-20,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
But the only problems you'll have is that obviously the manual will be in Japanese. The service history will be in Japanese. The radio will be probably inoperable in this country, and for a price you can always fix all of the. But everything else will be fine. It'll be very clean, very well looked after, as the Japanese will do. However,
Here we go. Here's the catch.
as the owner of an old BMW, which I bought from a Japanese import, and it was a very nice car, it was very clean, but it was nothing but problems because these are old German cars, and these are old German cars that are knocking on 12, 14 years old, and you're thinking, oh, wow, you know what, this is the best deal ever, but it's really not, because the price you pay is only the price of entry. These are cars that now need constant fettling. They need things like rubbers to be replaced, things like bushings. You know, all these things have to be done. And if you put the maintenance off, as the previous owner probably has, because he sold it from Japan, you're going to be the one stuck with the bill now. So be aware that there's no such thing as a cheap German high-performance car. Never has been, never will be.
Okay.
So, especially this generation of Mercs had a lot of problems. So you need to be very aware before you walk into them.
That's not to say that these are bad cars, because in Europe and other places you can buy these older European cars and not have a problem. Trouble is here getting hold of parts and the specialist
that's the thing.
expertise.
In Europe, parts all over the place.
It's much easier to get. Also, keep in mind that Japanese, they always look really tempting, and I see them as well, and I go, ooh, that looks really good. But the reason Japanese people get rid of the cars is because they have an extremely tough test there. I think it's called the shaken, isn't it? Something like that. The shaken. It's called the shaken. Same. You feel shaken when you get the bill.
Shake.
Shaken when you get the shocking bill.
Yeah, you get the exactly. That's
nicely
very good. Nicely done. And that's a really tough test. So the reason they've sold the car is because it can't get through the test. So clearly there's got to be some.
Mind you, the
issue with
Shaken's
it.
like ridiculous. Like there's like a singe mark on the seat, they'll fail it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of people they are. But having said that, he's right.
Okay.
And out here, you're just going to be spending money. So I mean, not wrong.
Do your research, Gary. Be aware of what you're getting into.
Drive a hard deal and find a good garage.
But I will also, I will say not to put him off, because he's not saying it's a daily driver.
No,
he's saying it's a
is
dream come
weekend.
So
true
you've
and
got
it's a
the time
weekend
to
car.
fix it.
So you know what? Go for it, because you will get a good car. But you will have to just put aside a budget for looking after it.
The electronics, these kinds of things, anything electricity, like window regulators, those things tend to go, and those aren't huge money to fix. So scrappies in Dubai, they're all universal parts.
Yeah.
Make sure, the thing you don't really worry about, make sure the engine is tight, there are no leaks, no problems. That's what you have to worry. If that's fine, go ahead and get it. Why not? It's an AMG.
There you go, Gary. Hope that helps you out. Let us know what you do. Back to the onions left in the car, in the boot, and now trying to get that smell out. Colleen is saying, burn a small piece of paper inside the vehicle.
And set fire to the car. Perfect. I get this. I like where she's going with it.
It's kind of like.
Oh, that's not what she meant.
No.
Okay.
It's going to burn away the odor.
That's just going to add another order. Are you masking the first order with the second order?
That's it.
Well, maybe couldn't you do that with like incense candles and stuff like that, I suppose?
You're suggesting lighting candles in a car.
Yeah, well, I'm suggesting chucking it off a cliff, but there you go.
Mohammed's got a question. He says, what do you guys think of an Audi TTRS 2010 manual as a second car?
Have you driven one?
Yeah, and I think I did a while back. Great car.
I don't even remember what car that is.
It's a TT.
It's an Audi TT.
With a 5-cylinder engine.
But the RS.
Yes, RS is a bit more sporty.
And a manual, come on.
Yeah.
And a manual. Are they still making TTs?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a new RS that just came out.
I don't see any new ones around. People stop driving those cars or something? Do they not like them?
New ones just arrived, though, hasn't it?
I used to see all the TTs all the time, and now
people here. In
the last year, I can't count any TTs on.
The TT falls into that bracket of fashionable cars, and I think that's there's nothing wrong with the car except that it's either in or it's not.
Yeah.
And I think that's
so. Is the new one inches?
So I don't know. I don't know. So we were talking about, for example, me and Imtishan were looking at Mustangs, and it's like all of a sudden all the previous generation Mustangs have just vanished, and we know how many of those. There were tons of those.
Yeah, where'd they
everywhere.
go? Where did they go?
And to me, it's like they haven't disappeared, they haven't been crushed, they haven't all of a sudden all been exported. To me, it's like, okay, that's last year's car. I can't be seen in it. I think people are just fickle here. I think they just put these cars away and go, oh, I don't want to be seen in that anymore, because that's
maybe they're exporting them to Japan.
Yeah, not Japan. No, not Japan. Maybe somewhere else, quite possibly, but not Japan.
Okay.
And I don't know if the TT has fallen to the same kind of, has fallen victim to the same kind of problem. That is just, that was cool.
I think it needs a new name.
Well, when the TT first came out, it was great. Everybody was buying because they had that really special styling. They never, there was
small, round,
I'm telling you, it just
sporty.
needs a new name. The Audi Pants Blaster. I don't know, something like that.
Pants Blaster.
It just needs a new. It needs rebranding. That's what it needs. Because the TT is like, oh, it's just another TT.
Yeah.
Just change the name. It'll be fine.
Okay.
PB
so
for short.
At the end of the day, 2010 manual as a second car. Is that a good deal?
Go for it. Yeah, fun.
Mohammed,
fun.
do it.
Got a good
do
deal
it
as well.
Take a picture. Let us see it. Any idea if the Teslas, the new ones, will be coming to the UAE or Tesla in general?
That's easy. No.
No.
They They barely sell them all. They just started selling them all over the world. It'll be a while before we see them out. Never say never, because they're independent company. They can do whatever they like. But as of now, we know of nothing. Or we know nothing, whichever one of the two.
We know nothing.
All right, don't hold your breath for the Tesla. You guys have played around with the Civic?
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. And
boy.
what did you think? I saw one today, actually.
Well, it's very simple. If you were going to go out and buy an Accord, don't buy this one.
It's huge.
It's huge. It's almost as big as an Accord now. So just
It's bigger than an Accord.
It is. There you go.
It's only a couple of inches short.
You
it's
guys,
shorter than a Cross Tour.
You guys, really?
Yep.
You guys are Honda owners. You like Honda cars. You've been a little bit less than impressed with the recent batch of Honda vehicles.
Yeah.
Does this vehicle sway you to saying Honda is back on track?
No.
Okay. Short show, isn't it?
Moving on. Moving
So
on.
you understand the object of radio, right? It's fill out anything, no with five sentences.
He's given his verdict.
Let the
There's
dead
nothing
air
more to
commence.
say.
Let the dead air commence. No,
Then let's talk Tiguan's.
to give it its due, it is actually a very good car to drive. The handling is very good. I found the steering and the handling and the grip were really actually very enjoyable.
At least says extraordinary.
I almost said extraordinary. It's also, as we've already said, it's also very spacious. It's actually better than before, except for the rear cabin. For me, it's a bit tight. Because the rear
There's like
roof,
a 6'1" hard limit on the head.
yeah, because the roof really just sort of slopes back.
Okay.
It's better looking than the previous Civic, that's for sure. And
it's striking.
yeah, so and I would say, like I said, yeah, definitely. If you're going to buy an Accord, don't buy the Accord. Go and have a look at that, because that's better. However, the pricing now, it went up to what, 95,000 dirhams?
For me, there are three issues with that car. I've been list form. They were professional like. The first thing is the pricing is off. So you got the 2-liter, which starts at 72 for a stripped out one. You don't want that one. You want the 78 one, which comes with all the toys, lane keep, and all of that, rear camera. But 78 is more than a 2-liter Civic. Sorry, Corolla. And I'm not sure it drives. It's better than to drive than a Toyota Corolla. But is it better enough that you walk over the best-selling car in the UAE? That's a tough one. Then again, it doesn't it also doesn't drive better than a Mazda 3, which I think is the best driving car in the. It also Mazda 3 is more expensive. No question.
How much more expensive though?
Shazad? I think it's like 90 something.
I don't know. We'll have to look
Okay,
it
so
up.
we're looking at another 20,000 on
But
top
the Mazda
of that.
3 has two engine options. There's a 2-liter and a 2.5.
I don't think it's as much as that. I think it's a little bit.
I think the
more,
2.5 is too expensive, but the 2-liter is sort of in the ballpark. And the Mazda 3 is a beautifully made car, very cohesively designed inside and out. I'm completely biased. I love them, and I love the way they drive. I think it would just walk all over the new Civic. But the new Civic is a good car. That's point number one.
That's only 1 point? Okay.
Point number two, very quickly. Point number two, fuel economy, not great. Not great.
Oh, okay.
Observed fuel economy wasn't spectacular. It was a very, very new car, admittedly.
By not great, you're getting about what, 13.5?
Yeah, that's like a Wrangler.
Okay, no. 13.5 is exactly what I've had over a 2-week period in my GMC Sierra Denali full-size behemoth
So what's
truck.
going on with that car then? Why is it getting?
It's a 2-liter CVT gearbox, and you know what? The CVT should be cutting the fuel consumption. But I don't think we have. Okay, I think it's probably doing about 10 something. But you know what? You're looking at the fuel gauge. You shouldn't be doing that.
No.
In a Civic. And that's the probably reason you buy this car, to be economical, and that's a problem. Thirdly, most damningly of all, the problem is the infotainment system, which has a mind of its own and a heart of its own, and a soul that doesn't want to be in a Civic. It wants to be in a band, a jazz band, noodling away, doing different things. It's just
I can see what they were doing.
Away.
I can see what they were doing. They got a massive step up from where they were, because they were
it's a
falling
lot of
behind.
options,
they were falling way behind. But now what they've done is they've tried to go down the route of Volvo or, for example, Tesla, where they've tried to put everything into the screen, and it's a bit more than it can handle, unfortunately.
The old girl's a bit outmatched here. And, for example, to climate control, right, that should be something always has a knob or a switch or a slider or whatever you want to do. Here, it's a button that you press, which brings up the climate control screen.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, because half the time it wasn't doing it.
So basically, if you want to adjust the fan speed or whatever, you press the button, wait, 1 potato, 2 potato, and then the climate control system comes up. Meanwhile, you've cooked. The same problem for using the Bluetooth. Everything runs through the screen. And if it was the best screen in the class, it'd be fine.
But for example, the volume knob,
there isn't
one.
What?
No. So you have to go into the screen again to do that. Or there's a slider control on one of the steering wheel spokes, which is so sensitive that as you're turning a corner, you've deafened yourself.
If you brush it, if you breathe on it, if you think about it, it will jack the volume up or down.
So you guys didn't like this car?
The design elements that they've some design elements are very irritating.
No, look, like I said, it's a massive improvement from where they were. And I said, like,
It's
I
a
will
lot of
maintain,
space for the money.
if you're going for an Accord, look at this instead, because you might find
It's
I wanna
better
do
on
that.
gas than a new 2.4 Accord.
If you don't have to stick to the Honda brand, like I said, look at the Corolla. Or I will throw in, especially when you're talking about infotainment systems and a modern futuristic interior, the Toyota Prius.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's at the very high. Over the one. Well, I forgot there's two engines. There's a 1.5 turbo which we haven't driven yet.
Yeah, but
that's
the
95,000.
Prius is about what 99,000, isn't it?
Prius is 99, but it's 87 for the basic one.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, we're talking 95 for a Civic. You're getting Prius. You're going to save fuel, save the world,
and
save
we
the
know
planet.
that saves fuel because we've driven it.
Yeah,
And it actually is very
It actually
economical.
does. Yeah.
Esther is taking notes. I can tell you she's looking intently on as you're outlining these different vehicles.
Tell you what, the Prius is a surprisingly, annoyingly good car because you want to get all eco-mentalist.
Surprisingly annoying good car.
Well, the thing is, like, as petrol heads, we want to hate it, right?
Yeah.
We want to go
And
down with the
everybody
Prius,
hates it.
and then we drive it and we go, this is quite
it's
good.
It's almost like, Shazad, are you feeling what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't be feeling this.
I don't think we can talk about this on the radio.
No, exactly. It's the feelings that are popping up are feelings of affection.
That's a different show.
This is Car Talk. Motoring Middle East is in the house. You want to get involved in the program? This is how you can do that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Motoring Middle East is here. We're talking cars. 04-423-1010 is the phone number. Get involved.
It's incendiary conversation.
4001 is the SMS. We got a whole bunch of those that have come through.
Otherwise, it'll just be dead air.
Yeah.
Hey, Mohammed's come through and he says, "Hi guys, my boss has a Mercedes-Benz CLK 350 Brabus with 90,000 miles, 90,000 kilometers of mileage. Soft cover. Is it a good buy for 25,000?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. No. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's good condition and stuff like that. It's one of those cars, again, you're just buying it as a plaything, as a fun thing.
It's not a daily driver.
No, but if you just want it for a laugh and you think, okay, how can I have a
again,
bit of
I've
fun
gotta
with this?
say,
Yeah, sure.
It's not cheap. The Brabus wheels alone. If you curb them, if you damage them,
If you
replacements
damage,
will not.
no, but you don't replace them. You see, you just chuck them away.
Yeah.
And then how does the car drive? On a cushion of air?
You go to eBay. You go to something and you go to Debizzle and you.
I mean, you're just giving people advice. They chuck
That's
them
it,
away,
chuck
and then the
them
car,
away.
what? It just DeLoreans its way home.
You see, the thing is, because in the UK I used to buy and sell cars on eBay all the time, and for me it was like, if I didn't like the car, I'd just stick it back onto eBay. You know, if there was something
Yeah.
wrong with it, I'd just stick it back onto eBay.
Not fraudulent.
If I needed wheels or tires for it, I'd go and find them on eBay. So
There we go.
I bought an entire set of 4 wheels for an Accord once, all on eBay, and they arrived from the other end of the country and in perfect condition. The trouble here is, again, reiterating what we said before, is the problem with that parts network and that
Yeah.
supply network
He
and
doesn't
that
say what
advice
year
and
it
helper
is.
network.
He
That's the
doesn't say
problem.
what
here.
I would say it's early 2000s.
Yeah, if
at
it's a
that
25,000 dirhams, then that's pretty. That's
price. If it's a 90s car, no.
Yeah.
No.
This is
Unless
the
you're
same thing.
prepared
I mean, if we could solve all of these questions, we would
Yeah.
all be driving BMW 850 CSIs right now, because they are bargain basement cheap.
Didn't they do a V12 with the manual?
Oh.
I think
Actually,
the
no,
manual was
I
rare, but I think they did do one.
I
yeah.
can't afford the tires. I can't afford to
You
replace
the
can't
tires-
afford. You can't afford. Here's what you can't afford. You can't afford the motor that powers the little washer jet thing that comes
Yeah.
up to wash the pop-up
Yeah.
headlights when that fails, because it probably already has failed.
There we go.
You can't afford to fix that. That's the problem with that car. It's got too
Okay.
much electronics on it.
All right. So basically, just buyer beware.
And an early traction control as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
Buyer
Very,
all kinds
very
of
early.
stuff on it.
Buyer beware. That's
Buyer beware.
Mohammed, that's
But
gonna
you know
cost
what?
If you've got toy money,
Yeah, 25 grand for a bit of
we
fun.
can't ask for more, really,
Yeah,
can you?
come
Okay,
on.
here's the toy money question. Muj has come through, and he's a petrol head. He's got 350,000 dirhams to spend on a car.
Good man.
He wants this to be his daily driver car. So he's going, he's saying, I don't know what to buy. A brand new Shelby
come to us.
350. It's coming to you guys. Brand new Shelby 350, a 2014 Maserati GranTurismo, or an M6 GranCoupe. 350,000 is the budget. If you guys could help him out, where would you go?
I mean, there's only
What,
one
daily
answer.
driver.
Daily driver. But the thing is,
I know where I'd go.
the Grand Coupe is, if he's talking the 4-door, does he need the 4 doors? Because the other two are just 2 doors. So
Yeah.
and the coupe,
Maserati,
the Maserati is not very spacious inside. Should he need space? You can't think about using the rear seats in that.
The
Whereas
new Shelby, though.
the new You know,
I'm all over that new Shelby.
so
I don't know.
I think we'll be leaning towards the Shelby.
I'm leaning towards the Shelby.
Yeah.
I've seen the Shelby.
Hang on.
I've sat
We
in it.
can't all agree.
We've all agreed.
No, this is
Whoa,
wrong.
this
Oh,
is
by
it.
the way-
Hands up in the air. We've all agreed.
Okay, I'll go Maserati, because we can't do
no,
that.
no.
By the way, actual news, in fact, we can release on this show live. The GT350 is now available in Altair. You can walk in and buy it, and it's not 350, it's 275.
It's
Really?
there.
One option.
$275. There you
That's it.
go.
$275. That's all you have to pay.
We've saved you money.
We've saved you money.
You know what?
Come and buy us dinner.
You can buy a Figo to commute.
That's what I'm saying. He can go and get the Shelby and a Figo on the side.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the Shelby
You can
is a
do
very
better
special
than
car.
a Figo.
What?
You said 270, right? He's saying 350.
So what can he get? What's his second? What's
No,
his
no.
backup daily
Two
meter?
Figos.
Yeah, 2 Figos.
Or does he tie them back to
He's
back and
got
have
3
4-wheel
cars.
drive?
He's just now got 3 cars for
There
the
you
price
go.
of one.
How is this for a radio show?
This is amazing.
This is brilliant.
We're solving the world's problems.
Car Talk and Motoring with Lease
Come on,
together,
Yeah.
making you richer
There we go.
by the minute.
Okay, here's
Or
a question.
dumber by the second.
There you go, Mooj. Let us know when you buy that Shelby. Again, we want to see photos.
When you buy that Shelby, can you bring
call
it to us?
Yeah, call us so we can hear you just giving it a rev.
and maybe just leave the keys and just forget about it for a few minutes because we might
Or
go
months.
Here's a question.
We'll
I'm
put
going
petrol in.
to read this question exactly as it's been sent in. It
Okay.
says, which 4-wheel car do you recommend as long-last cars in golf?
Let me translate that into journalese. What 4-wheel drive can I buy that has a good reputation for reliability?
Yeah.
Land Cruiser.
Prado, Japanese, anything, Pajero. I mean, all the tried and tested. Nissan
Yeah.
Patrol now, very popular. All the tried and tested names.
You know what? I've been seeing the Pajero ads all over the place. There's great value to be had there,
Yes.
and they're indestructible. Those cars. They last for a
They're not
very,
indestructible legally. We cannot say that.
No, but they last for a long
No.
time. They last for a long time. It depends how much you want to spend.
But
They
can
did
it
last for a
survive
long
James
time
Pikeway?
because some of them were around when the dinosaurs were around. They're still rolling around.
But if you want something that's got a little more prestige.
Prestige.
Land Cruiser.
I want some pastiche.
But I
with
still
my
like the
Pajero.
Patrols though. I still like the Patrol. I got to say, when I put them side by side, that Patrol is making me giddy.
Right now, it's all about the Patrol. The market loves the Patrol. They're doing really well. You see them everywhere.
Are
and
they
for good
still?
reason.
They've got the new body type, but they're still making the old one too, aren't they?
Not for much longer. Every year they keep threatening to stop selling it, but then people keep buying it.
I kind of like that old body style. I don't know.
But it's a dated car to drive
Yeah.
compared to the new one.
Okay.
Very, very dated. It's definitely a 4-wheel drive in our readers type of. It feels like a very old
Okay.
4-wheel drive because it's still a 90s car.
All right.
Yeah.
But
So-
you still see these old Patrols
I know,
around in
yeah.
action, being driven around.
Yeah.
You know, the old square,
Occasionally jumping
squared
over
off
dunes.
ones.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
that's
like
it.
that,
That's
you
it.
know.
We're
The
the Super Safari.
Minutes after I saw that being driven around, I saw Toyota Cressida, and I was like, "Wow, this
There we
is
go.
great! I've reverted back into the 80s. This is fantastic."
So there you go. It's wide
But
open.
something Japanese.
Yeah, something Japanese. You got the Mitsubishi, you got Toyota, you got Nissan. Stick in that area, you're laughing.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Here's another one that comes. Hey guys, I'm looking to buy a 2012 Dodge Charger SRT8 with 74,000 kilometers on the clock. Is 80,000 a fair price? Any recurring issues that I should be aware of? Appreciate your help. 2012.
Just make sure you have the
80,000
service history,
dirhams.
all of that good stuff. Make sure it's not a U.S. import. I mean, that would be on
Don't
the
you,
high.
don't you think 80,000 is a bit high for that car?
2012 SRT8. No, they started off closer to 200, right?
Yeah,
So
but now, what are they now though?
they're still around 200.
2012.
SRT8 Charger is about 200.
4 years
4
old.
years.
4 years old. You do the maths. You're Mr. I did.
I don't know.
I used car buy magazine.
Yeah, no, I think you should bargain harder on that one, especially now. It's a buyer's market.
Anything you should be aware of like that? We got 4 years. It's obviously been
Something
driven hard.
closer to
That car's
60.
been driven hard. You got to know it.
Yeah, like Imtishan says, I think go closer to 60 and then get the engine checked out before you buy it.
If you close on the mid 60s, I think you got a good deal. To be honest, right now there's plenty of these cars about, which is good for you.
Yeah.
But also make sure it has a full service history. That talk to the dealer. They'll tell you if there's been any major repairs or accidents. We're assuming that it's a clean car with no accidents and all of that.
But usual things to look out for. Drive it around, check for vibrations, look at the tire tread on the back. See how much that's worn down because it will be.
SRT8,
and,
you know what that's
it will be.
the stoplight Grand Prix
absolutely,
right there.
inevitably. But I would for a car like that with that hunk of an engine at front, I would get it checked out before you do the deal on that thing. Just get the engine and the transmission
For
checked out.
example, SRT8s are unique among FCA products. Have a 5K service interval. All the 6. I think that was a 6.4 by then. It was 6.1 was
could
the
be,
earlier
yeah.
2010s. So it was 6.4 and they had mandatory 5K, and it still is. Even the rule has changed now to 10K. SRT8s have an exception for 5K, and that's because these are high-performance engines, and they don't like to be sludged with oil.
So again, if it's an older car, if somebody's been skimping, I don't know how many owners it's had, but if somebody's been skimping out on the services, then
you could be walking into an expensive product.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the case, but maybe it's a good car. Maybe it's as checks out.
Yeah.
But make sure it's got a full TE service history.
Okay. There you go.
And make sure when you're doing a test drive, you're not having the stereo blaring. 'Cause a lot of people do that. They go on a test drive and they go, test the stereo. I'm like, no, test the car.
Yeah. No, test the stereo when you're parked.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine. Yeah, but when you're driving, listen to the car. Listen for any suspicious sounds which you will hear.
Okay.
What's the suspicious sound?
There you go. So if someone presented that
A man
to
in
you,
a boot knocking. Let me out! Let me out!
No, that one you can ignore. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
if someone presented that to you and they got the price down to around 65, would you say?
I'd be tempted. Yeah, I would be. That's a fantastic
good
car.
shape
It's an
too. That's
awesome car.
Okay.
Absolutely
I
awesome.
mean, it's a 470 horsepower muscle car. And a real muscle car. Real muscle. Didn't Vin Diesel drive one of these in Rio?
Then you pull a safe out of a building
Yeah, I
with one
think
of
so.
these, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
that's what it was.
It was some stunt work required.
Now here's something that I've noticed recently around where I'm living, and I've got a few people who are driving Chargers and Challengers, and there's one model that they've got those nice black stripes on, but they're stickers. And
They're all the vinyls. Or
I've
stickers.
noticed some of these vinyl stickers are peeling off because of the heat, and I thought, man, that's got to be warranted or something. And probably it's not, but I
No,
thought
not.
that's a little bothersome.
I remember that when the Shelbys came out, the car is of course warranted for 5 years and 100k, but the stickers are
Yeah.
not. Even though they come applied from the US, the stickers, don't quote me on this, I think they're around a couple of years, but they are expected to peel off for the heat.
So hang on. So how do the stickers on old Land Cruisers and Patrols survive? Because
The Japanese stickers.
Japanese stickers.
remember, because they used to be stickered up
No,
in the 80s.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
they don't peel off. They have a different problem. Japanese Land Cruisers particularly, or Patrols, the stickers fade for the
Yeah.
heat.
They fade,
They
they fade.
cling on for dear
Yeah,
life, like
yeah.
all Japanese products
Now
should.
you have stickers on your car, on your DeLorean, and those must be
Those are 34 years old.
yeah.
Yeah.
They look alright.
But they're special. They're powered by love. So I can't. And also, that car spent more time in AC than I have in the last
Yeah, that's
34
true,
years.
There you go.
But the Land Cruiser and the Patrols baffled me because I remember that, and even the Hiluxes. Remember the old
Yeah,
Hiluxes?
yeah.
They'd always have the stickers down the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And the very Middle East stripe package, with the
Yeah.
very eagle type stickers on the side. They're great. They're such wonderfully Middle Eastern things. Nobody else in the world gets those stickers.
Yeah, go
Pure.
figure. We're talking cars. Mortar Middle East is in the house. If you got some questions, you're trying to figure out whether you should buy this or that, or just
Or the
save your
other.
money, or the other, fire it through to us because I'm sure we can help you decide.
oh, boom, boom, boom.
Motoring Middle East is in the house. You want to get involved in the program, 4001 is the SMS line, 04-423-1010 is the phone number. Love to hear from you. I think even Esther's texting us some questions. I saw her just frantically putting something in on
She
on
could
the
just
text.
walk in here. It's not that far, really.
Hey, you know what? I think we've got Muj on the line, which means he's bought the Shelby.
Oh, cool.
Let's see if he's there.
Rev it up.
Good evening. Welcome to Nightline.
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. You're telling me you bought the Shelby. You're in it right now, and you're bringing it over to the studio.
I wish.
Oh, man.
I wish. I went to look at Altair. They don't have any to test. So I don't know what
probably
to do.
won't.
No, they won't have any to test. No, you'll have to buy it. And you know, we would never advise this. We always say always test the car before you buy it. But I don't think they're going to put a demo of that car on the fleet, from what I know. So you'll have to buy it on trust. What I would suggest is the next best thing is to take another Mustang out, just so at least that you know that you're comfortable in the car, the seating position, the visibility, everything works for you, and just get a feel of it and make sure that's all right. And then hopefully you'll be as comfortable in the Shelby, although I think the Shelby's got different seats in it.
Shelby's got
Yeah.
the Shikaro. They've got Recaro seats which are actually pretty comfortable. I've sat in the Shelby. It's nice.
No, the thing is, the package they're giving is the track package. So you don't get the power seat, you don't get the touch
Right.
screen, you don't get anything.
Right.
Still sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And,
So,
Do you do much track stuff?
He's going
I
to.
don't know.
He's
no,
going to start.
But I will. I might. Yeah.
Well,
I might,
why
yeah.
not just buy a regular V8 Mustang and you can get all your modifications, aftermarket exhaust and all of that.
I
And if you-
love the sound of Shelby and everything.
To be honest, that's another point I should point out to you. The GT350 does not sound like a Mustang. I've heard
Uh-oh.
it. It sounds.
They're not
very-
selling the R model, which sounds even better.
But
But
No, the R model will never come here. That's pure race.
but the 350 has that flat plane crank V8, and I should point out.
I'm
it
glad
doesn't-
you said that.
There you go. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it is, yeah.
It does not sound like a Mustang. It sounds very, very different. It sounds a bit like a Ferrari Speciale, which may not be to all tastes. It's a different sounding sort of engine.
But
So it's
going-
not like a Mustang.
But going back to your original question, if sound is something that you rate really, really very highly, then I would go back, I would revisit the Maserati again, because Maserati GranTurismos are amongst the best sounding cars on the planet. And they
I know, but it's just costly to maintain as well, Maserati. Aren't they?
It will. Well,
It's
they'll
not
be the
cheap.
warranty, because if you buy
275k comes
Yeah.
with 3 years warranty and servicing everything.
yeah,
you know?
so if you're including the service and warranty, then you should be all right on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys were talking about 850. I have the finest 850 CI possibly in the world.
Oh
I
man.
have one of the
have it?
last. Yeah, I have it. I can give it to if you to you
Get,
if you want to
okay,
review it or something.
get in touch with us. Get in touch with us through Motoring Middle East or through James.
Yeah, I have the platinum edition. It's
Oh,
one of the
man.
last produced.
Oh yeah, you got to get in touch with these
Let's
guys.
do this.
They're going to want to have a look at it. Hey man, Muj,
All
thank you
right.
very much. We'll talk to you
Thank
again
you.
soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Oh man, see?
Yeah, forget all these other cars. I'm just thinking about the 850 now. I'm going, oh.
I think you should get the GT350. It does sound pretty good, but it's one of those things where it's not that Altair won't do this for you. Go in there and say you want to listen to it, and they'll start it up, and you hear it, and make sure
Oh,
you
they'll
hear.
start it. Yeah, they just haven't.
They just
I
won't
don't.
let you
I don't think
drive
they
it.
haven't. They're not going to demo it. They're not
But
going to put it
to
out
be
as a
fair
demo
to them,
car.
they've never demoed these cars.
No.
It's kind of the way these things are sold.
Yeah.
At some of the
Yeah.
highest end, some people don't want to demo their cars because they quite rightly.
Because they sold 3 bosses, didn't they, last in the previous
4, I
generation?
think 4
3 or 4,
bosses.
and none of them were ever registered. None of them were ever demoed.
But you knew what sort of car you. Mustang people are Mustang people.
Yeah.
But the thing, what they're trying to say is that these cars are high performance cars, and they can't give it to anybody because anything could happen on a test
Right.
drive. You know, so you understand their point of view.
Audi S3 or a Golf R, both brand new. Which way would you go?
Me, Audi S3, love it. Absolutely adore that little thing. Fantastic car.
I have to agree with them, unfortunately.
Okay.
damn.
S3 it is. There you go. That was a simple one. Another
Too
one
easy.
saying, hey guys, awesome show, and I'm loving it. What are your opinions on the Maxima 2015 year model? Worth getting?
Is that the square one or the new one?
That's the old one.
That's the
That's the old-
2015 is the old one?
Yeah, I think, isn't that the old
I
one?
think it's the new one. Let's
I
assume
think
it's the new one.
new one. If it's the
Is that
new
the
one,
new
I love it. I think it's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, no, that's the
2015
newer.
must be the new one, yeah. So 2015 Maxima, good looking car, fantastic looking car, 300 horsepower, very fast. Not the best handling car in the world, but doesn't matter because it rides well, it's comfortable,
Feels
it's
like a
spacious.
Maxima again.
It feels like an old school Nissan. You remember, if you're old enough to remember Nissan Laurels, it reminds me of those sort of cars. Great straight line specialist, plus very
Everybody say,
comfortable.
what's a Laurel? He's never Caesar had on his head.
Yeah, exactly, it was, yeah. But I would highly recommend it. I think and it looks really, really special. One of the better looking Nissans out there.
What are your thoughts on a Ford Explorer XLT, old body shape, 30,000 is what they're asking for it, and it's as a daily driver?
As a daily driver, it'd be fine. Just have it
So
again.
these are cars are built for high mileage.
Yeah,
so yeah.
just again have it checked out. Make sure. I mean, 30,000 is not
You
a ton
probably
of money.
can't
So
expect full service history at that price point.
Yeah.
You'll get some service history. Make sure it's not too patchy and that all the major stuff has been done. And you can always take it to Altair and get it serviced. They'll always take it. So
Prasad's got a question that's going to take all night to answer, so we're gonna leave it till next week, and he wants to get your opinion on if and when a VAT comes in, the impact that will have on both new and used
that's
cars.
a paper we could
well,
write.
well, yeah, but certainly it will have an impact on new cars for sure. Prices will go up. That cost will be transferred to the customer
That's
straight away.
5%. We're talking 5%.
Absolutely, that's going to happen. There's no question of that. That
But-
will happen.
but
But,
you know-
used cars, I'm not so sure.
But you know what suddenly happens
Yeah.
is that gives the dealers 5% to play with. So we'll
Yeah.
eat the VAT for you.
Well, they have that level of margin anyway. So
Yeah.
it's whether they're eating the VAT or eating the floor mats.
Yeah.
We don't know. But certainly new car prices will almost certainly go up. Well, they will go up by 5% because that's the VAT on it. Yeah.
they will,
Used
yeah.
car, I'm not so sure about because on used items VAT not normally applied. I think so. Yeah. Not sure
Yeah,
about
it
that
should
one.
be. But then prices of used cars, won't they naturally go up because they're more valuable now?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. 5%. We're not talking a massive margin here. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
people, let's not
5%,
panic. 5% isn't like, it's not going to go up by 100K
Yeah.
a Corolla or something like that. So for the moment, I don't think it's going to have a huge effect on the market unless the number changes.
Here's an unfortunate one. Ahmed's come through and he's trying to get a price. Unfortunately, we don't really do prices, which is
We're not a used car price guide
yeah.
here.
Unfortunately,
No.
Auto Data is not with us, and
No.
But
But you know, to be honest, it's really hard to get accurate used prices in this market. This market is just not mature enough to give us accurate prices. You know, it's sort of, you know, we always say like, you know, first year depreciation is about 30%, and it's like 10 to 15% after that. So until it plateaus, which it does. So
because Hoffman's got a 2010 Mercedes C200 AMG Model 3, 75,000 kilometers that he wants to unload, and he wants to a V6 Grand Cherokee. He wants it for space.
What, 2010? Or no way he's getting a new one because those are a lot pricier. But it's hard to give prices. I do think that older 2010 Grand Cherokee should be somewhat in the same ballpark. So check it out.
All right, there we go. Okay, you know what, guys? We kind of ran out the clock on the show this evening.
why do we keep doing that? That's
I don't know.
extraordinary.
We didn't. So lining up for next week. We've got the Tiguan question to go through.
Okay.
Because you've had a good drive of that.
Yes.
You've been
all
driving
the way in Berlin.
Yeah, all the way in Berlin.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a chat about that. You've been driving around in the Sierra 4-doors, so we should have another conversation about that because you've had a true drive of this thing, and we want to know how easy or difficult it is to get that thing in all of the Emirates.
So if people want an update, I'll be putting up a video probably tonight or definitely by tomorrow. There'll be a video on our YouTube channel, and then check our website the day after. I'll put a review. I'll put a report on there. The first report, I'll put it up.
There we go. It's that simple. You want to find out anything that's going on in the world of cars, keep your eyes peeled or focused on Motoring Middle East's website. Go to their Facebook site. Go to their Instagram,
Twitter, wherever.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Lots of videos. These guys are talking about everything, and
if you have an 850 or anything similar like that, then do please get in touch. We do like wonderful old cars, as you'll have seen from the video I put up today from Tomini Classics. So if you've got cool cars, we love to hear from you.
Wonderful. Which means top of the hour. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. We'll do it all again next week, same place,
Thanks,
same
James.
time.